Hey friends, I need to talk to you. Boy, I don't have my headphones with me. I just went for a walk. I was sitting here having a salad and I'm going to meditate and I wanted to do it with you. Let me get my headphones. Oh, here they are. And then I can turn my phone off too. Let me get a pillow. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about a few things. I'm going to I'm sweaty. I usually sit here and meditate by myself after I go for a long walk, but I thought this meditation is going to be so good and so important that I want to share it live on YouTube. I want to share it with you. So I'm powering off my phone. Whew, little sigh breath. Do you power off your telephone now and make sure you're sitting somewhere that you can completely relax and uncross your ankles. And I have kind of a hard time in this chair getting my shoulders to sit free because I have wide shoulders. The sofa's easier for me, but I love this spot with you. So I'm listening. I got to talk more softly because I have the gaming headphones on, and I know my voice is loud. My routine is before I get out of bed, I already know what I'm going to be listening to help me get my mind into higher realms, because the creature mind, the world mind, the ego mind, I like calling it creature because for me it drives it more home what it is. The creature mind runs this world. I have no illusions anymore about this world and what is running it. Do I fall and trip into them? Do I get reactive? Yes. Am I getting less reactive? Yes. Am I starting to see? Yes. And that reaction is a mistake. So, Herb Fitch teachings marry A Course in Miracles teachings beautifully. And I have a video here. I'm going to play a 10-minute clip. And at first, I was going to play 10 minutes at the end, but I thought, this video is so incredibly vital. Start relaxing your shoulders while I'm talking to you. I'm going to do the same. Should I turn the light out? I don't know. Let's get relaxed. Can I get a pillow here? Yeah. The video is so important that I think I'm going to do meditations in 10-minute increments, and it's going to amaze you when you hear it. This is a truth teaching by Herb that is so incredible. When I was out walking, I wanted to hurry home because I needed to cry. That's how awakening it is, right? So this is a small channel, and Herb and Joel Goldsmith both talked about truth. Real truth, the truth, is not going to be readily accepted by the masses of people. And the infinite way and its teachings, the whole embodiment of all the teachings is in this video I'm going to play for you. And I'm going to play the first 10 minutes, and then we're going to be still together. I want you to remember today that you who are listening to me and who are a Course in Miracles student or a Joel Goldsmith or Herb Fitch, peace is the healer. Peace. I want you to really take that in and listen to that. And when I learn these truths, I do meditations to instill them more firmly in my mind. And that means when you achieve a state of peace, it doesn't matter, it's levels, and then you are reactive to something in the world, out the window goes your peace. And that's what this whole practice is about, is learning to no longer react to what the body's eyes are seeing. We hold on to our peace. It's literally holding on to the kingdom of heaven. And this is how Jesus healed. I know people who have lived in homes, and Joel Goldsmith talked about alcoholism, but he calls it alcoholism. It's so cute to hear him say it like that in his video. But I know people who have done this. I know two practitioners in their own home lived with active alcoholism, as Joel would say. And that practitioner in that house took full responsibility for what they were perceiving there. And I remember Joel Goldsmith saying, if I say the word alcoholism one more time, I'm going to become an alcoholic. Are we ready as practitioners, as truth students, to take full responsibility for what I'm perceiving there? The two practitioners who were living with alcoholics saw it fall to the floor. Living with angryaholics saw it fall to the floor. What is there? What is there? It's the Christ. And non-peace is trying to tell me there's something else. And we're entering into a new age of this. Fitch is here right now. Herb is here. It's not some voodoo in spirit comment. He's here. I know he's here. He talks about souls from out of time who have reached a state of peace. Relax your shoulders now. Being out of time and helping us. Jesus calls it the mighty companions in A Course in Miracles. 3 of the apostles were up on the mount with Jesus, and when he had lifted their consciousness up to the Christ with him, up to the peace. It's a very simple message, up to the peace that passeth understanding. He saw him standing there with Moses and Elijah. The spirit world is real. The physical world is not real, and we are not alone. And that alone is going to make me cry because of the joy. Keep relaxing your shoulders. We love a sigh breath here. I'm going to tell you a quick personal story. Just the most recent of the spiritual world. A friend, a dear friend, passed on from sight 3 nights ago in her sleep. And her best friend is also a very good friend of mine. I spend a lot of time in the quiet, a lot of time. And this friend who left form spoke to me. And first she said to me, it's going to be big. What I'm going to tell you to tell my best friend, it's going to be big. I said, okay, I'll wait. Christ be with me now is my prayer now when I'm still. Christ be with me now. Show me to use my body sinlessly that I may know your peace. And I heard her say to me, tell her, friend, tell her, ask her if she referred to me as her sister from another mother. Ask her about the joke. No, sister of another father. I said, okay. Okay, and I said to myself, I'm going to ease into this message. So I said to the friend, did you have that conversation? And she said, oh, yeah. I said, did she tell you, sister of another father? And she bursted out laughing and she said, oh my God. It was a conversation we had not long ago. And she laughed so hard. She told me she was going to wet her pants. She was laughing so hard. And when we get into a state of peace, and peace is the most important thing to us. You know, I didn't know this. I was a truth student for a very long time, and those books are very dense, and Creature Mind has us very resistant and searching and wanting to know. And it's no, the peace. It's the peace, it's the kingdom of heaven within. And the more we are willing to protect that through non-reaction, the more we step into the kingdom. And it's the most natural thing in the world to hear loving thoughts from our mighty companions who say to us, there's more going on in the world, in the realm of spirit than you realize. Keep rising up. Keep being still. Fitch says, no, your name is love. And you only know that when you're in a state of peace. So I'm going to play the first 10 minutes of this Herb recording right now, and just allow yourself to get as relaxed as you possibly can. Just keep feeling peace in your shoulders. That's when you get your shoulders to relax and soften. Everything follows from there. So here we go. And remember, Herb is here with us right now. And as we relax and allow our minds to rise up into peace, we are in treatment now. And the one who allows themselves to go into the deepest state of peace elevates the rest. Herb and Joel, the Christ, Jesus are with us now. Let's go.
Here's this simple little healing in Luke of the infirm woman. It only takes a few verses, and we have to pass over it. He was teaching in one of the synagogues on the Sabbath. There's that word Sabbath. Behold, there was a woman which had a spirit of infirmity 18 years, and was bowed together, maybe it's pronounced bowed, and could in no wise lift herself up. Notice the play on words, could in no wise lift herself up. And when Jesus saw her, he called her to him and said unto her, Woman, thou art loosed from thine infirmity. And he laid his hands on her, and immediately she was made straight and glorified God. Now take it slow and see this. When Jesus saw her, he called to her, and then he spoke to her, and then he touched her. 3 steps. You feel the Christ within you calling you, then it speaks to you, and then truth touches you. These are the 3 inner steps that happen within you on the Sabbath. On the Sabbath, when you're taking a Sabbath from human thought. Now remember that, because that's the whole purpose of this teaching here. To take the Sabbath, let the Christ within call you and obey it until it speaks to you and then touches you, and you see that's your peace. It's all within you. Now let's go to a more difficult healing. This one is the epileptic. The degree to which some of this has been misunderstood is that in doing a little research on it, I came across a treatise about how epilepsy is being caused by moon rays. And of course, the writer is under the influence of the moon himself. This also came under the heading of exorcising the spirits, casting out the demons. And nothing could be further from the truth unless you use these words as symbolism. Now, the disciples were very unlucky here, and so the father of the boy complained to Jesus. Certain man kneeling down to him, saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, the lunatic, who was sore vexed, for oft times he falleth into the fire and oft into the water. Aha. Jesus knows exactly what happened. He falleth into the fire and oft into the water. This boy had, in a previous life, studied in the mysteries, but he was one of those wise boys. He thought, now I can use this. And so he was playing around with his fire and his water. He was called a black magician. One of those fellows who try to influence people with his great mind. And it only boomeranged. And now he's a lunatic, and he has epilepsy. You see, this is a warning. Do not try to use spirit. It must be the boss. It employs you. You never make God your servant. You are the servant of the Father. And so Jesus now knows what's happened. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they couldn't cure him. The disciples apparently didn't understand the nature of this problem. So Jesus called them faithless and perverse, without faith. How long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? And after having rebuked the devil, he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that hour. He rebuked the devil. Now let's see that he wasn't healing this boy. Let's see that he didn't ask God to overcome the problem. Let us see that he was merely looking through what human eyes saw, but bearing witness instead to something else. And he was able to do it because he was living in the peace of the Christ. Now, his disciples apparently were not living in that peace. They were still going out and saying, in the name of Jesus Christ, get better. And it didn't always work. Now they say, why? Why don't we heal? What's the problem? Why could not we cast him out? And now you must see this, as our class did in Infinite Way some time ago. Why could not we cast him out? Because there was no him to cast out. They were under the hypnotism that there was a him to cast out. They were accepting a problem. And therefore, in accepting a problem where there was only God, invisible, they were making their own problem. And trying to solve that which didn't exist was obviously an untenable situation. Jesus, knowing there was no problem, was like Marconi, knowing there was no friction in the air to worry about for the wireless. And so he says to them, you must learn the faith of the grain of mustard seed, which means that the seed is really an invisible tree. And they must see that the epileptic victim is really the invisible Christ. You cannot look with human eyes and ever know truth. And so we're looking instead with truth from within and recognizing only God, invisibly omnipresent, instead of the visible epileptic. And so this was his teaching to them and to us. Now let's take this word omnipresence and see what it does for you. Suppose you're working in an office where the girls think you just are too smart and they don't like you for that. You get the work done quicker than everybody else. You're the boss's pet. They actually are pretty vicious about it. They don't like you and they let you know it. They try to form all kinds of little cliques around you to in some way discredit you. They hate you. They want revenge for your being such a good worker. And they're pretty vicious. And then you say, oh, they're all jealous of me. They hate me. And you feel quite justified in that remark because that's how it appears to you. But that's not living in a way that's going to do you any good. And furthermore, it's going to be a barrier to your development. You've got to see that the way to handle the situation is the same way you handle an epileptic. You must have the awareness of that which is not visible. Now, what is there? And this is important. What is there where you are seeing the hate of these employees? Is God omnipresent? Is there any other presence than omnipresence? And if so, are not the qualities of God there? If God is love, then how can there be hate there if God is omnipresent? Love is there and only love. How can there be animosity when God is harmony? How can there be vindictiveness when God is forgiveness? Now then, you have the qualities that are there of God, love, forgiveness, harmony, but you are accepting hate, animosity, and vindictiveness and feeling justified about it. You're not going to free yourself from that situation, but my peace will. Now then, find it in yourself to simply acknowledge that I am present within you, that I am present in that office. Forget the scene, forget what the eye sees. Seek me within you, for my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth. And lo and behold, hold to my peace. Did I not say that I go before you to make the crooked places straight? That I prepare a table for you in the midst of thine enemies? That I perfect that which concerneth thee? Don't you think I meant it? Don't you think that I'm living this I that speaks to you from within?
I'm going to do another meditation with those next 10 minutes, maybe tonight. That was incredible. That was a real life situation. And I'm a stepchild with stepsisters. That has been an ongoing theme in my life. And when I heard her speaking like that, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Were you thinking of anything going on in your life? It's powerful. The peace. That whole situation with the girl and the people in the office, it healed. Just like the story about the alcoholic. What am I seeing there? Because the creature within, the false creature, that lower state of consciousness that has no peace, only sees chaos and problems. So let's get completely relaxed and relax in peace. Take a sigh breath. We were mistaken, and we now know this peace is the practitioner. Rest in the peace. If your mind begins to wander, simply go back to relaxing your shoulders. Holy Spirit, use this body sinlessly that I may carry peace. Guide me. Christ has come Christ has risen in you, in your peace. Non reaction to this world will keep us there.